You know, we're all constantly chasing the next big thing, the shiniest new trend. But what if I told you that the most powerful strategies, the ones that generate some serious wealth, are actually hiding in plain sight? They might seem, well, boring, but their results are anything but. Okay, let's just put a number on it. $32,000 per month. Now, that's not from some crazy crypto scheme or a venture-backed startup. Nope. That's the net profit from just 4 simple, so-called boring websites. It's a staggering number, and it proves a really powerful point. Think about it. We all have access to the same AI, the same Google search bar, the same 24 hours in a day. So what's the real difference? What separates the people getting results like that from, well, everyone else? It's not about having the tools. It's about knowing how to actually use them. And the difference isn't luck. It all comes down to knowing which levers to pull. These are simple, strategic actions that when you pull them correctly, create these huge, disproportionate results. So today, we're going to break down 3 of the most important ones. All right, first up, the boring model. This is all about completely rethinking what it is you sell. This isn't about trying to create the next unicorn startup. It's about finding massive opportunities where nobody else is even looking. And this quote just nails the core idea, doesn't it? While everyone is out there fighting over a tiny piece of the high-tech pie, there's this massive, untapped ocean of opportunity in industries that are kind of low-tech but have really high-value needs. They don't need fancy software. They just need things that make them more efficient and get them more customers. Simple as that. And this slide just shows it perfectly. Take local SEO. The old model, right there on the left, the flat fee, that's like selling a lead to a plumber for $50. It's fine, but now look at the new model on the right. You handle that exact same lead, maybe even have an AI answer the phone, but instead of a flat fee, you take a percentage of the final job. Well, that $50 lead could be for a $5,000 project. Your cut just rocketed from $50 to $500 for the same amount of work. That is leverage. And the reason this works so well is actually pretty simple. These industries aren't saturated with tech solutions, which, makes them way easier to sell to. And once you deliver results, they stick with you because you become a critical part of their business. You're not just another service. You're the engine that's bringing them new work. Okay, let's move on to our second lever, the AI engine. See, it's not enough to have a great business model. You need a scalable engine to power it. And today, that engine is AI. But there's a huge, huge gap between how most people use AI and how the top performers are doing it. I'm just going to come out and say it. You are probably using ChatGPT wrong. For most people, it's like a glorified search engine, right? They ask a question, they get an answer. But that is barely scratching the surface of what's really possible. The pros use something they call agent mode. And this isn't just some feature, it's a whole mindset. You're not giving the AI a query, you're giving it a job. You prompt it to act as your market researcher. You tell it to go out and analyze your competitors' pricing, find gaps in the market, and report back with a full-blown strategy. It becomes a proactive, autonomous employee that works for you 24/7. This is just one part of a bigger playbook. I mean, beyond agent mode, power users do things like a project folder hack to give the AI long-term memory about their brand, so they never have to repeat themselves. And my personal favorite is the self-grading prompt, a command that forces the AI to critique and improve its own work against a set of rules before it even shows it to you. It's like having an employee with a built-in quality control manager. It's amazing. This whole structured approach applies everywhere. Take a really powerful video AI like Sora. It's expensive, so you really can't afford to just waste prompts. A simple framework like this ensures you get the perfect clip on the first try. You just define the subject, objective, realm, and atmosphere. A little structure turns AI from a slot machine into a precision tool. So you've got a killer model, and you've got an AI engine to scare it, but none of that matters if you can't get anyone's attention. And that brings us to our third and final lever, the hook. Because in today's economy, attention is the only currency that matters, and you have about 3 seconds to earn it. The good news is, you don't need to be some creative genius to write a killer hook. You just need a formula, and this one is incredibly effective. It's got 4 parts. You identify your subject, the action they take, their objective, and then, here's the key, a sharp contrast that challenges their entire way of thinking. Most marketers treat ChatGPT like a fancy Google, but it's an employee. See how that works? It immediately makes you think, wait, what? I mean, the difference is night and day. How to use AI for marketing is
fine. It's passive, it's kind of boring, you'd probably scroll right past it. But you're using AI for marketing all wrong? Well, that's a direct challenge. It stops the scroll because it creates this little knowledge gap and makes you question your own methods.
So the crucial point, the real magic here, is that contrast word. The but, the however, the all wrong. That's the pivot point. It creates what you could call shock value logic. It just completely subverts what the viewer expects, and it makes it almost impossible for them not to keep watching to find out why they're wrong and, how to be right. And there they are, the 3 levers that separate the people just dabbling from the people who are really winning. First, the model. Go find an unsexy, boring industry and sell them a high-margin solution. Second, the engine. Upgrade how you use AI from a simple tool to an autonomous system. And third, the magnet. Engineer your hooks with a proven formula to grab attention from the very first second. So look, these aren't just theories. They're actual, actionable blueprints being used right now to generate massive results. You've got the plans. The only question left is, which lever are you going to pull first?